Over there!
We can't let him get away!
Too late, fool! You will not escape! Us? What in the name of... Gary!
I'm sorry, okay? I hadn't prepped this part of the dungeon yet. I haven't had the time.
But you don't suffer from this, do you? For more than 2 years, you've helped us to enhance our tools, grow our map libraries, and given us a warm welcome in the community of map makers and game masters. We are honored to be part of this community, and all we can say is thank you.
Bring it on!
Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to another episode of our weekly community stream. My name is Till, I'm the founder of DGNFOG, and I am here to tell you about all the stuff that has been happening in the past week and that is happening in the upcoming week. If you have any questions in regards to DGNFOG, specifically the DGNFOG Battle Map Editor, don't forget to put a big question in front of it so I can see it. And without any further ado, let's tackle the things that I want to talk to you about today. Hello everyone, einen schönen Abend, guten Nun, hi, servus, grüß euch. Right. So what has been happening in the past week? Last week we have brought a new patch to DGNFOG, the battle map, the online battle map editor, patch 5.5.1, which was a convenience update that brought a lot of things to you that were kind of convenient. If you want to see what those are, check out the latest, the stream from last week. You can find it on YouTube. Oh, I have choppy audio again. My apologies, a Windows update broke something with one of my audio drivers. I hoped that I have fixed it, but I'm afraid I will not be able to fix it on stream right now, so you will have to live with it. I will try to fix it afterwards. So please apologize if the audio is bad today. Windows broke it. I thought I fixed it. My sincere apologies. Also, I'm sitting in front of the chat, which is kind of stupid. Let me move over here. Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, I'm terribly sorry. Something with the audio driver went wrong. I was testing it through Discord and Zoom calls today and yesterday, and it seemed fine, but apparently it's not. Yeah, Damien, thanks for the advice. I did that already. I feel like it's something in the voice meter that was plugged in, like one of the drivers does not work as it should be. So again, apologies for the audio. I will do my best to compensate for that by speaking louder. I'm not sure if that helps. So talking about last week, we had a new patch. If you want to see the new patch and learn about it, go to our news. Check out the news on DGNFOG.com. If you want to see me talk about it, go to YouTube and check out the video stream from last week. But we've also announced a new contest, the Master of the Tools contest. And it's a very interesting contest. I'm very much looking forward to it, because the idea behind the contest is that we leave the theme and the topic of the map completely up to you. All we want to know is we want to see how are you using the tools that we have recently integrated into DGNFOG. So when you when you look at the requirements, you can do a sci-fi map, cyberpunk, modern age. You can use any assets that are within Dungeon Fog. You can even upload your own custom assets. The goal is to use the tools that we have in there and show us what you can do with them. And I think the price makes this contest very interesting, because the winner is going to work with us on the next upcoming monthly prop pack, which means that this is not going to be a public contest where you post your maps on Discord. It means that you are submitting the maps through the submission process that we're going to look at in a minute. And we have a little jury built together who is going to look at the maps and decide who is using the tools in the most creative, best, appropriate way, who was able to impress us with using the tools in a way that we couldn't think of, and also, like, what is the general idea behind the map? Is that a great map for storytelling? The artist is part of the jury. So the jury, we will look at the jury in a second and see how they are going to help us judge the map. The important part is the jury will pick one winner, and that winner will not only be the owner of the exclusive Dungeon Fog badge, Master of the Tools, but he or she or they will also be able to work with us on the next asset pack, which means it's completely up to you. If you win that contest, you tell us what the next pack should be, and you will be part of the planning session where you can pick the theme. You will then work with us on the ideas for 25 assets that our asset artist Tony will then draw for you. And then you will be part of the review phase where we test the assets and make minor corrections to them if necessary. And the asset pack will then be part of our monthly prop pack cycle, but it will have this special little tag on the asset that says brought to you, so brought to the audience by you as the winner. And I think this is a really nice prize, and I hope we get a lot of submissions, because again, it's completely up to you what map that is. It could even be a map that you have already created beforehand and that you have just reworked with the existing tools. So let's look a little bit at the jury. Who's going to judge the map? Well, that is a picture of the amazingly intrigued jury. Nope, it's not faked at all. So we have Tony, who is our lead artist behind the Dungeon Fog assets, and his job will be to judge your composition, the way you're styling, the way you balance everything on the map. He will generally be like, yeah, you knew how to use that asset, or he will be like, oh, what have you done to my asset? But technically he's the one who's going to do the art judging. Me myself, I'm part of the jury. I will be more like the mediator in the jury, but I'm tester number one of all the tools, so I really know when you're playing tricks, when you're doing things that I have never seen before, which will impress me. Janet from World Anvil will be part of the jury. She's responsible for the storytelling part, so she will help us to judge whether this map is a good stage for a story. How much thought did you put into the story process of creating that map? And Guy, the great GM from How to Be a Great GM, he is also going to be part of the jury. He's going to look from the game master's perspective onto the map. So how playable is the map? How cool are the ideas that you have worked into the map? And since he is becoming a very, very trained Dungeon Fog map artist, because he's been doing a lot of maps in Dungeon Fog, he will help me to spot the neat little tricks that you have used to make your map shine. So this is the jury behind that, and with all the seriousness aside, the main purpose is for all of us to have fun and see amazing maps that you were doing, and me and the jury, we will sit there and we will look at them and we will marvel at all the things that you've submitted, and then we will just, based on the responsibilities that everyone have, we will get a little feedback. We will also review those submissions. So I'm not sure, we don't know yet if I will bring different jury members on different map streams where we will then review those maps. But at least the top tier submissions will get a little review, and I will talk about the feedback that I have got from the jury on those maps. So how are you submitting? That's the big question. No, Keora was not fired. I've asked Keora, and he was happily agreeing to join the jury. But because this is battle map, and Tony is our lead artist on the battle maps, he said, well, do you really want to have two artists judging on the map? And I said, well, no, it makes more sense to have the lead artist from the DGNFOG assets there, and we will run the same contest for sure on Deus maps later this year, and then Keora will be the artist on the Keora on the world map or region map judging. So how do you take part? Okay, to submit a map and to show us that you are the master of our tools, you have to fulfill at least the following requirements. A, surprise, the map has to be made in DGNFOG. And B, the map must include at least some of those tools. The best would be all of those tools, which is the new brush tool, the new shapes tool, the new text tool, map decorations, dynamic lighting. There should be rooms, but if you're planning to submit an overland map that doesn't have any rooms in there, that's fine. This is more like a recommendation or a checklist for you. And apparently assets. If you're using custom uploaded assets, please make sure that you have the rights to share them, because we can't judge maps with pirated assets on that, and also we can't review them. So we can't talk. Those maps will be excluded if you can't guarantee us that those assets are that you have the right to share them. There are no limits to the size of the map, the general theme of the map, or the creation date, which means you could use an older map and rework it specifically for that contest. So how do you submit the map? Well, that is fairly simple. You can, I will post it here. This is where the news are. And what you can do is you go to this news section, you create your private link, you follow the instructions here, so you click on the menu of your map and you create a private link and you copy that link. And this here is our contest submission form, and that you can find under the link that I have just posted. And here you post your share link. And then you can also, like, because of a little bit of privacy and consent, you can tell us whether or not you want to you want your map to be shown with the reference to your name, like this could be your DGNFOG nickname. But you want to keep your DGNFOG nickname private, this would be another option. Or please keep me out of this, which would mean that you can still submit, you could still become a winner, but we will not review your map. And the only exclusion from this rule is if you win the contest, then at least we will show the map on stream, and we will not talk about your nickname, but we will show the map and we will review it a little bit, but only if you are the winner of the contest. In any other case, your map will not be picked for a review, there will be no comments on the map, and you can just submit them. So this is how you submit to this contest, and I very much invite you to join this contest and have fun with us with map making, showing us what you can do with our tools, and probably become the master of the tools for this contest. All right. Again, for those of you who've joined later, my sincere apologies for the audio quality. I have a little bit of a problem with my audio drivers, and I'm going to fix it. So hopefully by the next mapping it out, yes, we're going to talk about that too. By the next Welcome to the Madness on Thursday, my audio will be fixed. Okay, let me just double check something. I think we can, for the moment, we can go back to big screen here. Let me just double check something, because before the stream started, we had a little hiccup on the test server. And I wanted to show you something from the test service, but if the test server is still behaving oddly, we will have to, yes, it is. Okay, in regards of other news and things that are happening, why am I moving in front of the chat all the time? In terms of other things that are happening, the big one is next week is going to be the next day's release. We are working on the final bits and pieces to finish the new iteration of the Deus software, and ideally on Monday. It might be on Tuesday, depending on if we need one more night of final fixing. I hope we do not. But on Monday, we will release the new Deus version, and it will be released for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And I can, like, if I move over, let me just see if I can make it like that a little bit. So make sure that you check out your Deus account manager. Make sure that you see that you can still log in there. If you didn't get the invite link yet, reach out to our support and we will create a new invite link to the Deus account manager. For those of you who already took part in the recent tech alpha, you should have access. So just follow the instructions that we will send to you on Monday or latest Tuesday and get your new version, which means you need to deinstall the old version as well. More on that will follow next week, Tuesday, when we have our regular mapping it out. And Guy and I are already working on the script and all the stuff for the mapping it out, which means there will be short instructions on how to install, short instructions on how to remove the old application, and mainly a review of what is part of the new Deus application, and how you can then submit feedback and where you do all of that stuff. So the whole Deus, Project Deus stuff is happening next week Tuesday, and keep your eyes out for an email. You will be notified the second that the new Deus updater has been released and when you can then download the new application for you. Right, I think that's it. And because my audio is so terrible, I feel like if you have any questions, post them now. As you can imagine, for our current week, main part is testing and polishing Deus. We are still testing and polishing the map templates. I wanted to show them to you today, but currently the test server is down. If you want to get a sneak peek of what the templates are, the room templates are, there was a stream last Thursday where I was looking at those tools on the test server for the first time, and you can check them out. Apart from that, let me just quickly see what are the news from the network. Kiora has his new Goblin pack still available on Patreon. So if you're looking for goblins, make sure that you go to Keora's website or Keora's Patreon and check for the new goblin pack. Well, Anvil is running a contest, a community challenge that is called Peculiar Plans, where you can win a bundle of Kobold Press goodies and publications in the World Building magazine. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check that out. And well, from our end, the big contest is the Master of the Tools contest. All right. With that said, guys, apologies for the audio. It's a much shorter stream than usually, but I don't want to torture you with crackling and knacking sounds. So we will see each other next Thursday, upcoming Thursday, when I'm going to do, hopefully with perfect audio then, where I'm going to do another map session for one of my office games where I'm drawing a map. And until then, I say thank you very much and happy map making. Bye!